I don't know what kind of bitch y'all motherfuckers think I am, for real, for real. I'm just a different kind of bitch. I don't know what it's like to be lonely. I don't know what it's like to need love. I don't know what it's like to be basic, to be the bitch worried about that next bitch more than I'm worried about my own shit. I don't know what it's like to give two fucks, and I don't know what it's like to give one fuck. I only know what it's like to give no fucks, and that shit is more than a hashtag. Bitch, stop clocking in my sing for me. Let's take it slowly. Please take your neck and lay it down before me. I'm gonna suck your soul out. I'm gonna do it slowly as I stand right here and play in your face, play in your face. Bitch, let me play in your face, play in your face, play in your face.
Yo. What's up, Jaguar Wright? Playing in y'all face. Keep playing in y'all face. I just hopped in early, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me? Shout out to Jaguar Wright. Playing in y'all face. That's dropping soon. It's already ready. What's up, Regina? Hey. That's gonna drop soon. Thank you, the people that have come in, and y'all remember the term back in the day. I got moted because I thought they were gonna do the Fall of Diddy. I think it's like what, part 3, part 4. I thought it was gonna be tonight. I thought it was gonna be completed tonight, but apparently, I guess they're dropping the other episode in like in a few hours. The third one, where the young lady who came on at the end of part 2 said that her grape was filmed, and I said, "Wait, what?" There's a lot of crazy stuff that is going on with this documentary, The Fall of Diddy. Now, welcome y'all. This is Wolfgang Amadeus, set in the West. I'm here with the owner of YouTube, Jaguar Wright. What's up?
One day, Goldie. One day.
Well, everybody's in these chats talking big monkey shit about you right now. I mean, that's crazy. I'm just saying. What's up, Islove? What's up, Christy? Shrine? What's good, y'all?
You know
Serene?
I don't like?
What you don't like?
I don't like unnecessary foolishness. And I don't like unnecessary roughness. You know? It's unnecessary.
I don't like unnecessary nothing.
It's like you know, I don't really expect anybody to think the way I think or to do things the way I do things. I worry about how I'm doing things. Oh, you enjoyed it, Sheila?
Hey,
It
Sheila,
is a great interview,
thank
right?
you. Look, Sheila, I haven't seen that doc in like 9 years, in all honesty, and that interview. And I forgot what I even asked Griff. And for the members, y'all know what it is. I just put it up there because, you know, anything I got, I don't edit. I mean, I edit, but I don't. It's like, that's for y'all. If y'all rock with me, that's for y'all. I'm gonna have one with my guy from Rodney O and Joe Cooley. Rest in peace to my man General Jeff. I'm gonna put him up next, and then I got one with Lonzo as well. Lonzo's like a 3-hour interview, but I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I'm not an interviewer. I'm not an interview person. I'm a producer. I know how to write them out, and I know, you know, but I'm not an interviewer.
Honey, understand this. You know how to have a conversation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the true art of a great interview is to create a conversation. where people are trading ideas and not combating, defending them.
But it's funny because he said this will be for y'all 10 years later, and we did this in 2015, the end of 2015, and Griff was going through. Thank you, Sheila. Say I was a great interviewer. Thank you, great questions. Yeah, I was just trying to, and I didn't even use all of that for my documentary, so that's why I said let me tap it in, and me and Jag finna link back up with. Well, I'm about to link up with Griff.
I'm gonna link up with Soleil.
She's linking up with Soleil. We're gonna do some things. It's gonna be great.
You know what I love? I love that we're the kind of couple that really, really, really backs each other's plays.
Yeah.
And that really supports each other. But it's cool because the truth is, it's like when you take your friend group and my friend group and your network group and my network group and you put it together, it was like it was the missing link all along.
Yeah,
like,
it's all a hip hop.
Yeah, like it's really incredible. And I love that even though my man isn't, some chart topping success and, all Shluminati down, what I love about him is that he's pure hip hop, unadulterated, not perverted by the game, not jaded by the system, just in opposition of it and how it affects the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that because it's like you were the one that was spared. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love that part.
There's a few of us out here. Shout out to all my Lamert Park, Project Blow, all my people. And yeah, there are a few of us that were spared.
And shout out to all of the real hip hop purists back home in Philadelphia. Shout out to 100X. Shout out to Lee. Shout out to Staff. There's so many real ones still left. Shout out to Kwame. Shout out to Razcast.
Razzie.
There's really a lot of, and you know what? Shout out to Mike and I.
Mike and I, what's good? Hey, we were just going back and forth with the Style Orphans baby mama.
And no. She never pushed out no brats for him. All the women he cheated on her with had the children. And, his first baby mom, who was, around when I was around, Darcel, she was the real talented one. It's so funny. He married the one that has no talent, that's just this ran through, broke down. And yes, I am talking about you, DJ EQ. I mean, you even got a notable mention in a Consequences song last year. No apologies.
No apologies. What did he say? What kind of say?
You didn't hear what he said? Hold on a second. I'm going to pull it up.
Well, long story short, though.
Wait a minute. I'm going to pull it up.
No, you pull it up. I just wanted to just say something. Mm-hmm. And like you said, shout out to Raz. Shout out to Western Hemisphere. Shout out to my boy Voodoo. And if y'all saw the mukbang we did at Somerville, shout out to Issa Rae in Somerville. We were on the phone. I got on the phone real quick with Vu. I didn't even edit that out. I just kept it because we supposed to chop it up with Vu. And I got a beat from him. I'm getting some more beats from him for Jag. And Voodoo is the producer who produced Nature of the Threat for Raz. And I got some bars. I'm like Karis one. Karis one said he got bars for everybody. He don't care who you are. He got bars for you. And I'm about to dust my mic off, and I got some bars for the Style Orphan. I just dare him to say something. That's all. That's all I got to say. So, but Khan said something about.
Wait a minute. No, it's not No Apologies.
It was something else?
It's Beef Forever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember that. Oh, man.
Forever. Wait a minute. Yeah, she actually got a dishonorable mention.
Wow.
In the joint. Yeah, I premiered it.
I hope you don't strike me for
channels. It. No,
just give me a clip of it.
No, what we gonna do?
And I don't pick on women.
We gonna put on closed caption.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
And we gonna read the lyrics.
Okay. But Jag was going in on EQ, and I just basically just mentioned her style orphan husband, and I said, bring it. And she's like,
well, the thing is she mentioned you first.
Yeah, she did. She
mentioned you 1st
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned me 1st
Mm-hmm.
I had something to say, and then you said something. All right, Lyricist Lounge, Clowns. Okay, here we go. EQ, you should have
known that night I could have left with EQ. You probably were so afraid that I could have left with EQ. Wow.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's rewind that.
So she's just
Family Hustle, VH1 couldn't knock the roof.
Wow. So Cons could have left with EQ. Hit the vodka ever since then. Everybody's been ever since then. They follow or block me. Went through the same thing with Joba and Rocky. Lyricist Lounge, but the underground knew who got Lyricist crown. So you should be afraid once levels EQ. You should have known that night I could have left with EQ. You probably so afraid I left from EQ. That's the reason why the other girls got me too. Wow. Shout out to Cons. Shout out to Cons. I saw him perform the first night when I saw Kanye out in LA at the El Rey Theater. Shout out to Cons. Wow.
Listen to me. When you got Consequence, who sits next to Ye, who made it very clear that he likes Consequence more than he likes Talib Kweli. When you're married to a man who is in the world's Guinness Book of Records for being the most dissed rapper of all time, when you're married to a man who you have no children with, but he has children with women half your age, I'm just saying, when you're married to a man that you gotta pay to get a feature,
wow,
or music that you can't sell, like, I ain't even gotta say nothing else. Your life sucks.
Shout out to EQ. Shout out to
you know what I mean. Shout out to a 51-year-old bitch who likes running around trolling her wayward estranged husband's former loves, who fucking clowns that nigga like he ain't shit and kicks it with all of the niggas that's 10 times better than him.
And then she said she was on the phone with the big homie Mike and I, microphone Mike.
You want to know what's weird?
That's crazy.
You shout out Mike and I regularly because you are a Mike and I enthusiast.
No, Mike's the homie though.
No. Do you know what that tells me?
What's that?
That tells me she's been listening to all of our content.
Of course.
Like the stalker that she is. Because she went out of her way to make sure that she said it in the chat where no one was talking about hip-hop or MCs other than her style orphan. I get young girls pregnant on my ran through wife, for sport, and then I try to hunt them down on Twitter and shame them into getting deletions. Like, you hang around with a lot of weird dudes.
Yeah, but
you sub to a lot of weird people.
I'll say it like this though.
Ugh.
I got something locked and loaded. You heard me around here at the house saying my little spits that I got something so locked and loaded. I'm ready. I dare the style orphan to say something. And I think I'm gonna put Jag on the beat too. Jag can spit. Don't get it twisted. Are you ready? We gotta put your troll diss that you put out. That gotta come out this weekend. Come on, let's do it.
Look, I laid it down.
Well, let's do it.
Laid it down.
Let's do it. No, we gotta do the visual. You got to go all together.
We can do the visual.
That'll be dope.
We'll
do it in the backyard.
Where I'm at.
Do it in the backyard.
You know where? I mean, contrary to DJ EQ's very retarded belief.
Oh damn.
My man we're together all the time.
Okay.
Like, that's what happens when your spouse wants to be with you. They be around. Like, when your spouse wants to be with you, they don't pick up extra tours overseas because they don't want to come home to you.
Wow.
And they want to spend time with their mistress in Madrid.
Damn.
Who they complain about you too. Like, when you have, a great relationship, your spouse wants to eat your food. Your spouse doesn't exist on DoorDash.
Damn.
I mean, like, your husband went live every day during the pandemic and order DoorDash while he sat with other chicks and other bitches while he's still married to you. And you were so worried about the alimony. Guess what? It's on y'all at that in vogue level. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the never gonna get it, 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 never gonna. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa!
And
That nigga ain't giving you shit.
And you ain't charging me for the feature, are you?
Oh my god.
And Vu got a beat. Like, I got so many beats to pick from. Just bring it. That's all I gotta say. I don't even let the style off and say he already said something on me on Twitter, and I had to block him.
Well.
But anyway, welcome y'all.
Bitch ain't getting shit. Oh my gosh, she better take it to the Lord in prayer.
Get it from God, like my nigga Craig Smith say.
Oh my god.
All right, y'all, and yeah, we gonna keep it a buck because we actually like part 2. I thought they were gonna drop the part 3 as well. Shout out to.
I mean, I'm really waiting for them to release it all because there's so many things.
Well, we'll do that. We can do a review, the full review on yours.
Yeah, I don't want to address in stages.
No. I got molded. So, like I said, I already scheduled this. I thought it was going to be the 2 and the 3, but it's cool. I can speak on it because I do want to say, shout out to Tisa Tales and. Toure or Toure, like they pick. Okay, so the Fall of Diddy. So far, it's speaking on the chronological career of Diddy Combs, Puffy, right? And it goes all the way to the first episode. You know, they talk about a little bit about his childhood. They talk about the incident that happened in December of what was that, 91?
Yeah.
At City College.
Yeah, and they also talked about the incidents that happened at Howard University.
Yeah.
In 1980
and 89.
And they also talked about the violence between him and Misa. And Misa, while she was pregnant and right after when Justin was born, when he was an infant. I'm just saying, I'm trying to understand why is nobody getting that this dude has been violent damn near his whole life.
Now, people kind of get a better snapshot with this documentary of what Diddy was. You would have thought that this documentary would have been about Suge Knight, because the way the media painted Suge Knight, especially in the 90s and moving forward.
Or maybe because of who Diddy was connected to, they paid the media to make Suge Knight look like what Diddy really was.
Right. Diddy just had good PR.
He had Clive Davis.
Ooh.
He had the best PR. He had the PR that made people forget that there was foul play about Janis Joplin's passing. He had the kind of PR that made it possible to destroy Whitney Houston's entire marriage and family life with Bobby Brown. He had the kind of money. Do I need to go on?
No, you don't. I mean, this documentary though is somewhat of an eye opener.
No, because I don't like it because they sit there and they keep giving him all of these accolades about Black excellence and all that he did, and I'm like, only thing he did was grab his ankles for Clive Davis.
Yeah, I found it interesting.
And Clive Davis put him in position. Everything, the clothing deal, the alcohol deals, all of that came because of his association through Clive Davis. Everything, his end to Lucian Grange. All of these things came. None of that would have happened without Clive.
Basically, so it looked like there's no Black excellence without white help.
White help. There's no Black excellence without grabbing your Black ankles
and spreading your Black cheeks. No Diddy. Well, Well, okay, that's all good. Yeah, like him going from where he came from to how he moved up and got in the uptown, and then he all of a sudden had his own label, and then he just looked like it's he definitely was their pick. That was their guy.
And they put him in position, and they gave him all of the baubles and all of the money and the trinkets and the power, so that all of the black people would do whatever he did.
Shrine.
See, influence. Look at what influence did.
Shrine, yeah. Shout out to Just D. There's gonna be some major things happening with paperwork as well. There's a whole lot going on with that whole thing with the Whitney Houston thing. But yeah, I'm not. This is not about Clive though, but this is about the fall of Diddy and the reaction to so far what we have in the doc. So, yeah, again, Tisa Tales, we got Toure. They labeled him a hip hop critic or a journalist. Like,
yeah. In what world?
Toure, what, bro? Toure is trash. Toure ass. That's your real name.
The thing that I didn't like is while he's sitting up there talking about all of these horrifying stories about Puffy and he was really mad on this day. Like, you're sitting there laughing and being, girlish and giddyish about him literally going to assault someone. That's not funny.
No, it's not.
And why are you sitting there laughing?
And
I don't understand that.
Now that's the problem I have with Toure ass. I'm not tripping. I am tripping because he's been on TikTok. And by the way, Jaguar is now on TikTok. The Jaguar Wright show on TikTok. Y'all follow. She's been on TikTok, but we made it official with the Jaguar Wright show. And then the Jaganator 2.0, Jaganator 3.0, 3.0. But Toure ass has been on TikTok, just going in on my woman, and I said, all right, there's only so much that we gonna take. I'm gonna holler at Elliot Wilson. We're gonna have to have that meet up too.
Why are people interested in going in on me on a platform that I barely engage on? It looks like you're looking to go to find a captive audience where you're not going to get any pushback from me, because all of that crap y'all do on TikTok, you wouldn't dare do it on YouTube.
Well, they took
you wouldn't dare.
They took the YouTube model and said, let's bring it over to TikTok, because it's well documented that they tell people, content creators on YouTube, if you talk about a certain individual, you can monetize. And boom, that's why we have the troll farm, and that's why we have, people just kind of bringing whatever and saying whatever in your name. We even got to the point to where we have media organizations saying your name and saying false things that you have said for views. They say the most random, outlandish things about Jaguar Wright,
and it came out of my mouth,
and it get clicks and views. But we're gonna deal with that later. But Toure ass, yeah, Toure ass is in this documentary, and every time I just want to punch the TV.
Yeah, but I'm still not understanding for what.
I know he's not relevant
at all.
He's not a hip hop critic. He's not hip hop
at all.
What'd you call him? You called him Doc. What was it, Doc from
Yeah, he looks like Christopher Lloyd. He
looked like a black Christopher Lloyd.
And not as funny.
No, and not smart
at all.
No, Toure ass.
Only thing he probably do with a DeLorean is offer hand jobs in the back seat.
Oh man. And then they had Tisa Tales, and they had Love B. Scott.
Jackie McKinney.
She got a light-skinned friend.
I'm telling you right now, they want to talk about people bleaching their skin and wearing wigs. I'll tell you one thing. She was extra bright. She looked like she had at least 20 cups of coffee. I mean, man.
Coffee or cocaine?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
So
tell you, it all started as a bean.
it all came from Colombia.
We're going to keep it a bean, baby.
But she was extra animated. And
for the very short clips.
Yeah, and then you
social media personality. I guess that's what she is.
Now you had the same guy that they.
Why didn't she go up as a tarot card reader, and then she could have read the cards and told them how the whole case is going to end?
Oh yeah, that would have been dope. Yeah. So
I mean, didn't she say that she's influencing Tony Busby's court filings?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. But anyway, just the interesting cast of individuals that they had for part 1 and part 2 for the Fall of Diddy. And, well, let me get right to where I wanted to go because, you know, I pretty much already seen how part 1 was played out in the beginning of part 2. Shout out to Easy Mo B. Shout out to you, bro.
It was so good to see him.
You're dope as fuck. Easy Mo
so
B.
Good to see him.
Your beats, just man.
I so miss him.
Easy Mo B. Shout out to Easy Mo B.
That's my bro, G.
What up, Aaron? The lion, the lion or whatever. Why can't I read right now? What's up, man? Well, long gone. Let me shout out everybody. Hey, Golden Aries. Hey, what's up, Golden Aries? Oki. Made for of course my boy Jay Mizak. What's good with you? But no, I just wanted to give an honorable mention to Easy Mo B and how he came on the dock and he had, I think he did Flavor in Your Ear on the SP.
He did the what? Yes, he did.
He did it and he was showing on the SP.
Oh my God.
The SP.
Amazing.
Easy Mo B, salute, bro.
And we also have to mention, and I really hope that I hear my other friend who passed away, Chucky Thompson, who was one of the original Bad Boy Hitmen as well. I hope his name is mentioned in this, but it was good to see Mo B. Yeah,
I love seeing Mo B. Mo B, you produced a joint for my brother when they were on Tracy Edmonds.
He owed me a track.
Oh, well, we got to run up on him then. What? Yeah, Mo B, you dope, bro. We're gonna have to catch up with you. You did do a track for the West Side Goon Squad. Those my brothers.
My catalog.
They never released it. Well, they put it on the vinyl.
My catalog will never be complete without one of these.
Well, we got to get one from Mo B then for sure. But Easy Mo B, one of the dopest, humblest, dopest dude, like just dope as fuck. Then they just moved forward with. I mean, everybody right now knows the timeline of Diddy. They typically just talk about the issues that he's been involved in, and most notably the 1999 incident December with him, Wolf, Shine, Natanya, and J-Lo. Shout out to Natanya Rubin. They had her labeled as Natanya Griffin. Is that her maiden name?
Well, that was her maiden name.
Okay, all right.
I think it was their point to make sure they listed everyone by their official victim witness.
Got it.
Because that was before her marriage, and she's a widow now.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. But it was very heartbreaking seeing her having to relive what went down on that unfaithful night in '99, and I remember to this day. We shoot. That was crazy. We heard it all the way out here in LA, just like, wait, what? He did what? And it was just unbelievable. And then the results where everybody walked except for Shine. And again,
especially considering how the judge was so familiar with Diddy from all of the many times he had been there before.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I think people keep missing the point This was a protected predator and monster.
And that's what we're gonna talk about is certain individuals like Diddy, because Diddy isn't. It's not just Diddy. Like if we really want to go down the line and of course talk about Weinstein, talk about Epstein, talk about a lot of people don't know about this Democratic donor, this West Hollywood guy who was drugging black men, doing what Diddy was doing, but drugging them with like meth or whatever. What was this guy name? But he was a Democratic donor. The thing is there's monsters everywhere. Of course, we're highlighting Diddy and we're talking about this documentary, but I want to bring it back to just monsters everywhere. Academics.
I'm surprised it's taken people so long to realize that canceling him is what's best for the community, especially in the digital spaces as a whole. I'm surprised that it's taking this long for people to see him as the scourge of the internet.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm real sensitive about this because of the other side of the situation where it affects us.
Yeah. So Diddy is one thing, academics is another. Ed Buck.
All a symptom of the same problem.
Ed Buck is was a Democratic donor who was injecting gay black men in West Hollywood with methamphetamine. And one guy who survived had the nerve to talk about it not too long ago. It came up in the LA Times recently. Jag said it best, like, how do we prevent more Diddy's? How do we prevent more academics? How do we prevent more Ed Bucks?
I mean,
that's the answer.
Wrong.
I mean, that's the question.
I'm glad we finally gotten to the point where the name Diddy is more like a public service announcement than anything. But he's not the only one.
Not at all.
And the simple fact that people are having such a hard time embracing that birds of a feather flock together. And even if you don't want to accept that Jay-Z is capable of doing these things, he had to know something about this very, very, very violent and strange person. It behooved him to do what was right. He is the father of daughters at this point. Like, when are people going to start holding people accountable?
Yeah, this story, this Fall of Diddy, like I said, is highlighting Sean Combs, but we really need to be talking about all the monsters. And how do we stop these monsters?
And their enablers and their handlers.
Yeah, they talked about Diddy, and they said that a lot of people feared him because of his power. And then they said, well, he and his money. But then they said, well, you know, he came up during an era where it was kind of like New York was lawless and there was a lot going on in New York. We know his background. They talked about his father.
Yeah, but that was happening in every major city. Ain't nothing special there.
No. Well, New York was very unique. You know, the murder rate in New York was crazy. You know, at the time.
Really? And so that's why Philadelphia was beating them?
No. I'm talking about New York specifically.
I hear what you're saying.
You're right, because
now I grew up on the East Coast, and New York's unalignment rates rivaled Philadelphia, and New York had 5 times the people as Philly.
Now look.
So there's no excuse.
LA was crazy too. So I get what you're saying about it being widespread all over, because at that time, just think about the early 70s and what was going on then. And then his father being a victim. Well, I ain't gonna say a victim. We know what happened to his father.
Let's be very clear about this. His father was a criminal who was working with people who worked for larger criminal organizations. He got popped for being sloppy and having lack of good impulse control. He decided to become a federal informant, and that is not allegedly, that is a fact.
Yeah.
While he was still working in the streets and betraying everyone in his crew. And guess what? He did that, and he got what happens to people who betray their people. He was unalive. Joyce chose to be involved with that kind of man. There is no sympathy for those people.
No.
They chose the lives that they lived. Now, understand this. Diddy didn't have a choice in who his parents were. He did not have a choice in what happened to him in his home while his upbringing. If you ask me, the school failed him because there's no way a kid is around all of that kind of violence and all of that weird actual stuff, and nobody noticed that he acted a little different. Like, people ignored it, and I think the reason why was because of the money. Because Joyce had all of that money that was left behind. And I'm sure she made all kinds of donations. I'm sure she bought all kinds of things. And I'm sure everyone just let that go down. And they didn't care about what was happening to that young man in their house. Now, up until the age of 15, there is some understanding and some reason. But from the second that he started whooping on Misa, whooping on girls at Howard, whooping on girls at the club, whooping on girls at the strip club.
They said he whooped the girl with a belt.
Like the second that he decided to become that guy, it really doesn't matter what his mommy did to him. See, there was a choice. There was a choice. Grand Rising Murph, there was a choice. And he chose to become as monstrous as everything he experienced.
Yeah.
And after that, there is no sympathy. There's no sympathy.
No. If you make bad choices, that's just what you did, and you do not run from your choices.
But he kept escaping accountability.
That part.
And I think when he got away with what he had done to Nathania, whether it was intentional or unintentional, what he did to her and the way he got out of accepting responsibility, I think that was the moment where he truly believed, I am untouchable. I can get away with anything.
Yeah.
And then it created the monster that we know the diddler to be today.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like we got to look at all of the fact that he's had a violet, you know, an ultraviolet, we'll call it. You know, history with DV, with women.
Yeah.
Women. So this is definitely a person who takes on the oppressor role, who takes on the oppressor. And like I've said before, the bigger the monster, usually the bigger the victim.
Yeah.
And when you look at how monstrous the diddler became in his adult life, and you think of the scripture in the Bible, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart from it. What did we hear in this new documentary, in this The Fall of Diddy, the friend that he grew up with as from a child all the way up through Bad Boy, Tim? You know, he said to Tim, you know, Tim said to him, you gotta stop beating on women. You gotta stop having these problems. But he also said that his mother was a very, very, very bipolar acting kind of mom who was hot and cold, who beat him hard and beat him rough because she saw he was sweet. So she beat him to make him rough and to make him tough. And he didn't know what mom he was going to get from day to day, which sounds like there might have been some pharmaceutical abuse going on in the midst of all of that partying, and a woman who had no tolerance to raise a child. You know, so when you hear all of that, if Diddy was trained up in that kind of highly a fornication kind of environment where anything goes, where there was pharmaceuticals, where there was illicit actual behavior, where there was, you know what I'm saying, all kinds of illegal, dirty, like dirty money. Like he literally grew up on dirty money. And then he did the group with the Kalina and the Don Rashad. The dirty money. The Diddy dirty money. Like, it's like he never let go of his childhood.
He never aimed to do better. In all honesty,
he wanted to be the best scumbag in the world.
Well, in Dirty Money, he wanted to be the baddest bitch. So
yeah,
okay,
with the perm.
Yeah, I know.
And the lace jumpsuit, it was a mess.
And he tried to flip it at the end with this last album, the Love album, but he looked like straight Lucifer with the red on. It's crazy, but in the red being lower chakra. Diddy is a
honey, what's
mother.
Love? Honey, what's love got to do with it?
What's love got to do?
Ain't had nothing to do with none of that foolishness.
He said, "What drugs got to do with it?" That's why he had all that baby oil.
Like I'm telling you, Diddy is screwed. But the thing is, once again, I gotta really drive the point home that the bigger the monster, usually the bigger the victim. So we need to take into consideration, not that we need to be feeling all of this sympathy and oh my God, give him another chance. Because in my opinion, I don't think someone like Sean Combs can be rehabilitated. In my opinion,
one of the elders, I forget who it was, he said it's better to fix up a broken child than or dysfunctional child than to try to help or fix up broken men. He's beyond repair.
See, this is the thing. People aren't paying attention to the fact of dopamine. A lot of what he did was charged with adrenaline and dopamine. He became addicted to the rush of what he was doing. So at this point in time, whether it's 2C or DV, when he snaps into motion, he gets that jolt, he gets that kick, the dopamine comes in, the euphoria takes place. He literally gets off on it. Like it's a compulsion. At this point in time. Like he's no different than, the people that like little people that say they can't stop it, they can't make themselves stop. He's no different than that.
No impulse control.
No
type of control in general. And people were talking in the chat, and I was talking to my little nephew about that today, about morals. Because obviously a person who, and I saw that clip where the lady was saying how he would get enraged, and they showed him getting all, upset. And there's nothing wrong with being emotional.
He was in his late 20s throwing a full-grown temper tantrum.
But the temper tantrum.
Why do people think I call him an insane Chucky doll?
Yeah. I mean, morals. I wanted to talk about that, but him not having any. In order to be a leader, you have to have morals. He had a group, or he had a record label, Bad Boy. What the morality? Was the morality at?
No morality.
None. Again, back to '99 with Natanya Rubin, and again, shout out to Natanya. But yeah, we pray for you because you're reliving us. If you hearing you talk about the instance when you said, "Oh, he has a GUN," and then he felt the hot flash, and I mean, just pray that because you have to relive that, and I just pray for your healing. And this guy, this monster, started. I mean, he's the reason why you're going through what you've gone through, and I know you're healing. I know you're better, and I know you know.
Thanks, Kenzen.
This made you stronger. What did Kenzen say?
No, he was just saying at least Quincy Jones had talent.
Oh, damn. I was just telling you about that. I said Diddy didn't produce a damn thing, but he would tell people what to do X, Y, and Z.
Well, no, he paid for the session.
Right. So then
and whoever has the money to pay for the room and the engineer, and whoever pays for the equipment and the time gets to play producer.
Well, basically, he was a hack.
He wasn't a hack. He was a well-positioned government operative, allegedly.
Well, even what we talked about with the whole, and then they move forward to.
But I mean, his daddy worked with the feds. Why is everyone having such a hard time believing that they wouldn't round up second generation? They knew how to push Melvin's buttons. That gave them guaranteed insight on how to push the son's buttons. And because the father was gone, they would be able to come and tell him things about himself, things that they know because they surveilled his father. They would know. Like, honestly,
they have a profile.
Listen to me. With his dad being their snitch, they knew everything about him. All they would have had to do is have a government agent run up on him when he was 12 years old, talking about, hey, I used to know your dad.
Befriend him.
Hey, man, I remember your dad. And then the next time you see him, you remember him as who? That guy who knew my dad. Nobody talks about my dad.
Right.
He thought his father had died in a car accident. He didn't even know his dad got taken out because he was in the game. So the question is once it became very clear that, and it's been said in several, that in his young age, he thought his father had died in a car wreck.
Yeah, right.
So who's the one that told him that his daddy was a snitch?
Right.
And Gene even said that he had to clear it up. But in my opinion, I think he already knew. I think the feds came and snatched him up young, just like they did with the Jigga Man, allegedly.
Yeah.
I think they got them both young. I think they knew what to say to him. I think they knew how to gain his confidence. I think they knew. They probably told him that, what he was doing was for his dad and woo and blah, blah, blah. Like, ain't no way. I mean, it is so easy to manipulate a young man with the memory of his lost father, especially if they said, your father was one of the good guys. He worked for the government.
Right.
Like, that's all they would have to say. Your dad was a good guy. Exactly. Giving them that G-unit behavior.
Right. Right.
Because that's how they do.
Right.
That's how they do when they get in young assets. And trust me, they look and target for young black men between the ages of 14 and 19 because those are the most critical years for social development. And those are the years where you're starting to build real lasting relationships from your teens going into your colleges and in your 20s. If you're already embedded and the feds already got a handle on you, by the time they need you to snap into action, you've been friends with these people for 8-9 years. Nobody's suspecting you're a spy.
Right. Right.
Nobody is suspecting that you're the one that's turning everybody in. Like, I don't even think people understand. And to be a young black person and to have the government watching your ass, covering your back, getting rid of cases, dropping things off, allowing you to be a terror and a menace on the civil level, on the social level, on the streets, on the state level. But when it comes to every time it becomes time for the state or for the district to come after you, all of a sudden here come the feds saying no, we got him, he's on the books.
Right.
Like, I mean, what else was that going to do? An egomaniac with all kinds of, lost daddy issues, and your mother's a whore, and like how, oh my God, like it was like he was the perfect secret weapon for the government, allegedly.
Yeah, no, that he, and then throwing him in the music industry to kind of almost like some Pied Piper shit. No R. Kelly, but
they were friends.
No, I know, but I'm saying, think about his I can remember even being about 13, 14 years old when Puff first dropped, and Craig Mack Flavor in Your Ear. Ooh, Flavor, dope. That was dope because we were hip hop was hip hop, but then Flavor in Your Ear was different, and we were like, yo, what's this? Oh, Bad Boy, and then Biggie, boom. So it's like he got our generation like, yo, we like Puff. I didn't like Puff after Biggie was assassinated, because I kind of felt that even back then, like, okay, he has something to do with this. And even in the doc, they talked about him deciding to sample Sting, and how that was like way out of here. Like nobody, that was a white record. I'll Be Missing You and this and then.
Understand this, the only reason it worked was because they said it was a tribute to Biggie.
That's it.
And guess what?
If it wasn't, it sucked.
Because Biggie was so beloved by the world, they wanted to accept that there was something special done for them. But if they go back and listen to the lyrics of the song, that song is about stalking. That song is about preying on someone. That song is about not being able to live without someone.
It's about Big Brother with Sting.
And guess what's funny? After Biggie left, it's been Puffy that's been living his life.
Yeah.
Every step you take, every move you make,
everything you say,
every bond you break, I'll be watching you. You know, I don't think people even realize the implications in choosing a song with that kind of tone.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And to take it and turn it into a tribute to someone who died by questionable means.
He basically stepped into his let's say Biggie's destiny.
You want to know what's wild? What's the difference between I'll Be Missing You and Song Cry?
Oh, it's the same. But it's
Sacrifice Records.
I was about to say.
Sacrifice Records.
Yeah.
And had the whole world pouring all of their energy into that and harvesting them.
Yo, Set in the West, what you had said about my mom. My city, what are you talking about? Do you want the link?
Who's my city?
I don't know. If you want the link, just say you want the link. I'll drop it. You pop in here. Let's go. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even normally go in here and talk on the chat. But if you want the link, say you want the link. I'm gonna drop it.
You wanna know what's really interesting?
Yeah, I remember your tag. What are you talking about, Buster?
Apparently, this is someone who's come through on a ghost account.
I'm dropping the link.
All right.
Go ahead. What you want? Murph, no, Murph, let him have it. Let I want to see what this guy got to say.
They're saying this to distract the
conversation. I know. But I can play into it.
Yeah, well, I would like to not forget my thought.
Well, you were talking about this.
No, what I was saying is, while we're sitting here talking about the diddler and all of his past deeds, why is nobody looking at the fact that just 2 days ago, an article came out about the fact that there is someone who is now speaking to the federal authorities about the Jigga Man having 5 potential bodies from an unsolved case in Brooklyn while he was a minor. And they said that he had unalived someone over a coat, but he also unalived the other people that were there who were witnesses to what was going on.
Wait, is that right?
Yes. And all of this happened before he was 18.
Whoa.
And this was after he pow-powed his brother in the shoulder because his brother stole his watch.
Okay.
He could go get that.
So I'm gonna fact check you right now, because in all honesty, you said something that's gonna make like everybody like, huh? What are you talking about? Okay. See, proceeds with caution, of course. So there was an incident that happened where Jay.
What do you mean proceed with caution?
No, it's talking about Tisa. Yeah.
What about Tisa? What do I need to proceed with caution?
Again, that's someone
No.
trying to.
No, I'm not understanding. I want to be clear. Because if somebody's going to warn me about something, I want to know.
Oh, are they saying proceed with caution? You know, oh, you didn't say something to terms about me. Go to hell with my mom. You disrespected my mom. I don't even know you. What? Okay, this guy. This must be. This must be Ralph the Wise.
Once again, these are the trolls.
This is Ralph the Wise. Gotta be.
It's gotta be a misunderstanding because I'm not understanding.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why someone would be warning me about anything. But anyway, like I was saying, I just find it funny that all of this stuff is popping up in the chat right now when I'm sitting here talking about the fact that the Jigga Man is being talked about to the federales regarding all of his crimes when he was a young man. And like we were saying, let's bring it right back on home.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like I said, the feds, they love coming to young black men in the hood who are in legal trouble. They love coming to young black men who got poor families and single moms with bad habits. They like coming to them and luring them in and making them feel like they want it in and like they doing something good. Well, they said, I mean, why do you care about that guy, man? He ain't nothing but a pharmaceutical dealer, man. Like, you know what I mean? Worry about your family. You know what I mean? They like hanging around with people like Ra's al Ghul. I got a family to feed.
Yeah, pathetic.
All of this. I tell you one thing. Diddy got into a lot of trouble when he was a young man. So did the Jigga Man. And the Jigga Man had a problem with his anger so much to the point he liked making sure all of his arguments were final, allegedly. They sound like perfect candidates for a Fed agent to come up and say, hey, we need you to infiltrate hip-hop. And the both of them so desperately wanted to be famous.
And they're both parallel as far as like when they do the Fall of Diddy, the Jay-Z version, and they talk about, you know, they speak on his childhood friend, D. Haven, and what happened to him, and then I would like to know how his connection to Jazzo and all that, and then him moving in and dealing with or going, you know, like the quest to become signed, and no one wanted to sign him.
Like my good brother Gene Deal said, Jay-Z and Diddy was a package deal. Yeah. It's a lot of similarities. Beyond similarities. It's everything that I said. Go and watch the movie Kiss the Girls and watch two predators compete and collaborate and protect each other at all costs.
So
how is that any different than what's happening now? How am I not Ashley Judd?
So, side note, they say Jay-Z is still in the Hamptons right now. He's hiding out. Normally, he's not in that part of the States at this time of year, but all the stuff that's going on, it looks like maybe he's just getting ready for the inevitable, in all honesty, because I think Diddy all of a sudden popped up in New York, and then what happened?
He's got a lot of private holdings on the East Coast. Him being there will make it easier for him. Make it easier for him to move around by car.
Yeah.
At night.
Yeah.
For meetings that he don't want nobody to see him have.
Yeah. We're keeping an eye on all this situation because a lot of people are moving very suspiciously, especially with this thing with you know, Trump's coming back. Well, Trump is back. And there's a lot of stuff that just people aren't taking anymore. I'm glad this whole thing that's going on with ACT is happening. Unfortunately, it had to take a young male, underage male, for this whole thing to go down when he's been accused on so many, so many times with so many incidents with women, but they didn't act.
Understand this. That boy is 15. Academics is 35. He's old enough to be that young man's father. What he did was no different than any other pedo. PDF. What he did, PDFer. What he did was certified G unit behavior. What he did, in my opinion, was criminal.
Mm-hmm.
And by law, it fits the statute because he did it in front of a live audience.
Well, he thought it was hidden. He thought it wasn't recorded. He thought it was in secrecy, but obviously it wasn't. And he owned up to it. But
understand this: who cares what he thought it was?
No, I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying.
The simple fact that he said he thought it was private
that
makes
says
it
a lot.
Worse.
Exactly.
It makes it worse.
That says a lot.
Because what you're saying is that if you had known people were listening, you wouldn't have said it.
Exactly.
Why? Because you know it's wrong.
Well, if you're about integrity, you act like you act when nobody is around, the same way you act when other people are around. I don't play that. I said that on the last video I did earlier this week about ACT, and y'all can run that back in here because he was going in on Jag about certain stuff, and then now this comes up. He's a monster too.
No, it's funny because he accused me of going after all of the people that have been accused of doing the thing that he just got busted doing.
Exactly.
I would have, if I was him, I'd have a problem with me too.
Yeah. Murph. Oh, thanks, Murph. Hey, Murph, we got some stuff about that guy. That stuff. We're gonna roll that out soon. I got to get with Ken Zen on it as well. Thanks, Ken Zen. Thanks, Murph. Thanks, Jay Mizak, for holding it down. Long gone as well. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here in a minute because I think we're gonna finalize everything about this topic on Jag's channel because the part 3, I gotta see how long. I thought the part 3 was done today, and I just got molded. And if I got molded, but I think Jag is the perfect person to just really wrap this up. And again, Natanya, I don't even think they didn't talk about the Parham chick who
they didn't get that far.
They didn't get there. And people are, look, there was an
they haven't gotten past 2002
no, they haven't.
yet.
No, they haven't. They ain't moved into
they got a whole other 20 years.
They didn't move into the, and you got, oh man, you had a failed content creator who just went live and put had a Diddy party, like a Photoshop version of the Diddy party, had me there, had Jag there, had Lamisha there. She had the Photoshop skills of a homeless man. But they're making fun of this like it's a funny thing. And in reality, this is a serious situation. Before I leave, I wanted to speak on something because it's funny. They're not speaking on certain people because we can throw Jay into this whole situation too, but they're not even speaking on accusations and
salute to you, SP.
Situations that happened earlier this summer. There was a young man who came forward and said something happened to him at the age of 10, and I think I know who it is. And all of a sudden, you don't even hear that anymore. You don't even hear anything about that story anymore. A young man that was victimized by Diddy, a little boy, in fact, not a young man, a little boy.
Yeah, that got quiet. There's a lot of stuff that got quiet.
Man.
You want to know when everything started quieting down, though?
When all this stuff came about a couple of months ago with this,
With all of the infighting
with the trolls,
and the content creators,
and the content creators, yeah.
And this is what I want to say. When it gets to the point where we're fighting so hard for something that we start fighting each other, everybody needs to stop and ask themselves, what are we fighting for anymore? None of this should have happened. And yet it did. And there are certain people that made certain choices. But I'm going to tell you something. When you go out of your way to highlight someone that you see as irrelevant, when you take your time to acknowledge something that you said you're obliged to ignore, but you take the time to acknowledge it anyway, it's because you wanted to.
Yeah.
There's no other reason. There are a couple content creators over the course of the past couple of days that have gone out of their way to pick a fight publicly or an argument publicly about things that really don't even matter in the grand scheme of it. Because no matter what everyone is fighting about, what everyone is trying to be right about, and what everyone wants to make sure that everyone knows someone is wrong about, guess what I know that happened that was drastically wrong? 90% of Sean Atwood's very important Diddy content with very important information that I had a big part to play in was all taken down. Now, with that happening, what's fueling real critical thinking regarding the Diddyverse is now being slowed down.
Yeah. Purpose.
And at a time where things are about to blow up. How is nobody looking at the timing that in the midst of all of this blow up, this huge attack on very relevant Diddy content now being taken down, all of it's happening at the exact same time that the documentaries are coming out and policemen are coming forward and saying, hey, I don't care if the public doesn't believe the 13-year-old autistic victim. I do, and I can back it up.
Yep.
All of this is happening right now. Sean Atwood's platform that is one of the largest platforms that's really doing pro-critical thinking in the Diddy sphere has just been hit. And meanwhile, nobody notices because of all of these irrelevant fucking fights about fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Little fires everywhere. And understand this. People have the right to defend themselves. People have the right to stand up for their name and to protect their brand. But if you said it's irrelevant, if you say that I fought tougher and bigger monsters than you and I can take you down, if you're sitting there saying this person has no content and don't know how to make no content and is clout chasing other people, if it really is that trivial, then why talk about it at all? You know, there's a lot of shots Odell and I could take at a lot of people on a regular fucking basis, G. And guess what? We chill. Want to know why? Because us getting our lick back ain't more important than watching every last one of these monsters be locked up in prison for the rest of their mortal lives. There is no beef. There is no, listen to me, I'm going to tell y'all just like I used to tell all the girls as soon as I book in jail. Let me take y'all to the county right quick. Let me give y'all some county common sense. When you walk in and you're somebody like me, you better be expecting everybody to look to take their shot. They either be want to be the chick that got to go to the hole for beating up Jaguar Wright, or Jaguar Wright going to the hole for whooping their ass, or creating some kind of story or some kind of, clout. I even got to deal with that when I go to jail, G. And most people know who I am when I get there. And I let them all know. Because there's always one girl who's going to try it. Who's going to try to start an argument with you. That bitch will start an argument with you about a piece of lint in her pocket. You understand? There's always somebody that's going to try it. And I let them know. There is absolutely no amount of hell or beef that you can bring to me that's more important than me beating my case. Matter of fact, I suggest you worry about your case too. How about rather than all of us sitting here trying to worry about who's going to be the baddest bitch on the fucking cell block, like how about rather than worrying about all of that, everybody worry about your motherfucking case. Because that's the fight that you really should be worried about. And anytime I said that, the officers would look at me like, y'all better listen to Wright. She ain't lying. Just fucking around with us. We'll make sure you stay here a couple extra years. So let's make sure that when we picking fights, we ain't picking jail fights. Because honestly, a lot of what I see going on right now with the infighting in the so-called sectors that are out for the truth and for justice and save the children in the future. There's a lot of people having a lot of bullshit ass county jail fights. Fighting over ICE, fighting over who gets to be first in the commissary line when the cart pulls up, fighting over who gets the shower first because the hottest water comes out first, fighting over who gonna be the tier worker because they get the extra tray and they got the honey buns and the fresh peaches this week. Like, that's how y'all motherfuckers sound to me, G. You fucking honey fucking bun beefing motherfuckers. Real rap. One of our strongest, heaviest hitters in the Diddy sphere just got fucking pulled on the goddamn field. Fucking 20 yards on the play, G. We're trying to drive this shit to the end zone. We just lost 20 yards on the play, G. And y'all want to fight over honey buns? Fuck y'all. Like y'all want to be upset about something, be upset about something that counts. We all got a lot to be upset about. Jay-Z and Diddy got their lick in. Now what we gonna do to get it back?
Well, I got my let me tell you some LA County shit. I got my soap, my newspaper, and I made my shank. That motherfucker dry. I'm ready. I don't know if you know about that jail shit. But anyway, good shit, Jag. Thank you for punching the clock with your guy. And
I stay clocked in.
I know.
And they clock that, T.
Yeah, but in all honesty, yeah, all the other extra bullshit, I'm not entertaining it.
I'm gonna start treating y'all niggas like county inmates for real.
You got to. Yeah. Real spill though, y'all. Look, Jag is gonna continue this conversation maybe tomorrow or the day after. But the documentary's pretty decent. If y'all haven't seen it, it's on ID. You're not gonna find it on Twitter, but it's essentially just a little bit more in depth from the documentary, the other documentary that just dropped with Diddy. It's a good, interesting take. I'm ready for the final, or I don't know if it's gonna be one more. But overall, it's time to figure out a way. How do we stop Diddy's in our communities? I told Jack from the jump. I was like, I was already, when I was 3-4 years old, I knew dudes, men are weird. And if there's no way if you don't have no checks and balances or whatever, or you don't know how to, if there's no there's nobody in there checking this guy, he's gonna grow up to be a weirdo. And I Diddy's one of them. Just the behaviors that he's displaying, no impulse control, no morals. How do we stop this type of behavior in our community?
I'm gonna tell you right now, the community that was around Diddy when he was a boy failed him. They failed him. That young man saw too much, did too much, and had access to too much.
Yep.
And nobody was there. You know, the closest thing to a real father figure, in my opinion, that he had was Gene Deal.
Yeah.
That was the closest thing he had. And he lost that because his damn mama.
Mm. All right, y'all. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for checking in. Again, we're going to just come back to this topic on Jag's channel, the Jaguar Wright effect. I don't know if Just D, if you're going to be on, everybody going to get on over there. I'm ready to go to sleep, and I got stuff to do. And
not before this was on.
Okay.
It's date night.
No, it's not. It's night.
It's date night.
It's night. You talking about date night?
It's date night.
Yeah. He said his mama with Hot Pocket J. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night, and we're up out of here. We love and appreciate y'all. Peace.
Wolf gang, where you at, man?